Hey, let's talk about the pros and cons of having a rooster. Maybe you don't have a rooster, maybe you're interested in getting one, maybe you don't even have chickens and you're trying to decide if you go ahead and get a rooster or not. Well, in this video, we're gonna go over some of the reasons why you may want one or why you may not want one. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, over the years, we've had a lot of different breeds of rooster, and that's gonna really determine what type of rooster you get if you get a rooster after you watch this video. Right now, we have 2 Delaware roosters and an Americana. Think of it kind of like dogs in a way. Dogs have different temperaments. You have some dogs that are really hyper, you have some dogs that are really chill, you have big dogs, little dogs, it really runs the gamut. And chickens, rooster breeds, chicken breeds I guess I should say, are kind of the same thing. You're gonna have very docile breeds, you're gonna have very hyper breeds. So that's one thing you're gonna wanna consider if you do decide to go with the chicken or with getting a rooster, is picking a good breed. And if you have any questions on that, you can leave those in the comment section and we'll kind of go from there. So one of the first things you're going to get if you get a rooster is protection for your girls. Chickens are kind of dumb and they're not great guardians, but a rooster will come in and he will protect your girls. Now, you may have seen some videos in the past of roosters fighting off hawks, snakes, dogs, all kinds of things. I mean, if you ever had a rooster come after you, it can be kind of a scary experience. So, like I said, the first thing is that they're going to do for you, for your girls, is they're going to provide, kind of like be a little bodyguard, if you will, for your girls. I just had the camera off. All the girls ran because Elmer just notified. He did his signal call. All the girls just ran, went under the coop, and now they're slowly coming back out. So he warns. That's another pro about roosters, is he will warn the girls. They will run when he gives a signal. Yeah, if you have hawks, if you have any kind of problem like that, really good thing. Next up is if you want to make some chicks, you want to have some babies in your backyard or in your farmyard, whatever it is, you're going to need a boy. So I think you probably know how that works. But you're going to need a boy and a girl to make the babies. So one of the things that we are focusing on right now is we really like the Delaware breed of chickens, and our main alpha rooster is Elmer, and I like the glue. He's a white rooster. And anyways, so we bred with another Delaware girl, and we have our second in command, which is EJ, or Elmer Jr. So again, if you're wanting to have babies, you want to breed some of your own chickens so that you don't have to go buy them all the time, a rooster is another good reason to make that happen. All right, so another great reason to have a rooster around is hierarchy. You've heard of the term pecking order. Well, a rooster will help keep your hens from bullying on other hens. If you have a hen that's kind of messing with other ones, or she's maybe one of the alpha girls, he'll come in and step in and put things in order. He'll wear the daddy pants, if you will, and keep things in order. So if you're seeing a lot of bullying, it may be that you need a rooster to come along and help smooth things out, wear the daddy pants. All right, so another pro with having a rooster is just the ambiance. Roosters are cool. If you have a handsome looking rooster, which Elmer right now, some of his tail feathers got plucked out. But if you've got a handsome looking rooster walking around, he's crowing, he's doing his job, he's not attacking you or attacking the children, and keeping the girls in order, just a great addition to have around. One other kind of interesting thing with having a rooster is our big boy Elmer. He will actually put the girls up at night. He will watch out for them. I guess this kind of ties back into the protector or guardian, but he will put them up. He's kind of a little gentleman rooster, if you will. He'll put the girls away. He will, it's funny, when you throw food out there, he will kind of peck down towards things and show food to the girls, maybe don't see it. That's just kind of another interesting dynamic, I guess you could say, with having a rooster. All right, so let's cover a couple of cons, reasons you might not want to have a rooster. Roosters crow. This isn't just when the sun comes up and they crow like on the cartoons. They crow all throughout the day. They make some noise. If you're in the suburbs or something like that, you probably have a HOA or something saying you can't have roosters. But yeah, they are not silent. They make noise and they let the world know that they are there. Now, another reason you might not want to have a rooster is roosters at times can become aggressive. And some of this will have to do with the breed. Oftentimes it just has to do with the rooster themselves. We've had really docile roosters. Elmer right now is a really docile rooster. He's a tall, big boy, but I can pet him, I can pick him up, no problems. We have had roosters in the past that are skittish. They don't want to be around you. And when they get frustrated or they don't want you around, they will peck at you, they'll attack you, all of that. We're at the point now where we're starting to selectively breed who we want. We handle our roosters a lot when they're young, so they're used to us. But we have had roosters in the past that were really docile and really friendly, and then one day they hit puberty and they wound up in the crock pot because that's not going to be happening around my kids. Around the other hens, sometimes they can be a little aggressive that way. Delawares make really good roosters. We've also had black Australorps. One of the ones you'll see somewhere in this video, silver, is Americana. They're kind of known to not be great roosters, or maybe a little aggressive, but so far he's been a sweet boy. He's one of my favorites. But yeah, just know that if you get a rooster, you may wind up getting a butthead. But the buttheads, like I said, go in the crock pot, or we sell them to somebody else who wants them. One other thing to consider with that is if you don't have like a backyard flock that you're hanging out with a lot, but you've just kind of got girls that are free ranging, and it may not be that big of a deal to have one that's not super friendly to you, as long as they're not attacking you or causing problems when you're going to collect eggs or you got to fix something. That may not be too big of an issue. Our chickens are contained, so we go in there to feed them, we go in there to water them, go in there just to interact. So we need roosters that are peaceful. Another potential con with having a rooster is roosters are going to do what roosters are going to do. They are boys. They want to wrestle with the girls. Making sure that you have enough girls per rooster is important. And I don't know the actual number. We have a pretty decent sized flock, and you want to just make sure you can Google, figure out what the right ratio is. But if you don't have enough, then they can start to be on the girls too much and start to wear girls out. So that's something you want to pay attention to. Also, if you start to see a lot of feathers getting loosened, you might need to get some more girls in there and just kind of spread the love, if you will. Finally, one other thing to share is you may have some legal issues. Certain areas, you have restricted land, you have certain covenants if you're in a neighborhood, and you can't get a rooster because they're allowed. But if you have chickens, chickens aren't silent. Chickens are loud in general anyway. Somebody just went, ah. What you doing? I'm sorry, I'm just checking eggs. Yeah. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You just need to study whatever your laws or your rules are in your area. Now, when one of the boys starts crowing, it is loud, it is prolonged. You can see on the channel some of, I think we got one of Elmer crowing, we had a rooster that was Rocky. You just got to figure out what the legal issues are with that, and you've probably already figured that out if you have hens. Obviously, we have roosters, so we think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. We really enjoy having them around. Seriously? But we have, like I said, we've taken a little time to make sure that we have good ones, or ones that are not docile, but just ones that aren't violent and aren't attacking. So if you got any questions, put those in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos about chickens and things, click right over here, and I'll see you in the next video.